Obviously, I'm in the car. It's because I'm sitting out in front of my job. I'm at work. I wanted to do this live video tonight instead of do it recorded because it is my Wednesdays with Wager NFL video. Obviously, I work days and nights at my job, so some Wednesdays I have to work nights, and it kind of messes things up. But here we go. Let's talk about the Thursday game. This is a very, very shaky Thursday game, right? It's Broncos versus Saints. Broncos are favored by 2.5 on the road in New Orleans. It's two rookie quarterbacks going, and Rattler and Nix. Rattler looked okay last week against the Tampa Bay team, but they still got smoked, and he still threw a couple picks in the end. And Nix, he looked okay against the Chargers, but they still, they had to make a big comeback. He looked good in the comeback. I'll give him that. Still, never really had a chance to win the game. Again, rookies. Bo Nix is 3-3 as a rookie. Obviously, Spencer Rattler's only played one game. But in this one, so I don't think we should overthink it. I think it's two essentially mediocre to bad teams. They're on the lower half of the league, I would say, overall. But the Saints have some other issues, right? The Saints, their top two wide receivers are out, Olave and Shaheed. At least in the last thing I looked at, said they were both out. Starting a rookie without your best wide receivers, I mean, they're going to run the ball a lot. The Denver defense is actually really good. This total in this game is 37, which is a low total, but not so low this year. Not so low in the NFL this year. This is kind of a normal total. I don't think this game gets there. I don't think it gets to 37. I don't. To get to 37, I feel like one of the teams has to score in the 20s. And I don't know that happens, right? Like, both teams are going to run the ball a lot. I just don't know that both teams. Do they get out of the teens? I don't know. I feel like that this one stays under this 37. I think this is something like 17-14, which is 31. That adds up quick, right? That's a 31. It adds up quick. But that's still not close to 37. That still needs a whole nother touchdown, It could be something even like 13-10. Short week. The rookies just aren't going to prepare as well in a short week. All the injuries, and the Denver defense is pretty good. I don't think the Saints score that much in this one. I actually think, in a weird concept here, in a weird way, Denver gets this win on the road. I'm not laying no points with the Broncos, though. I'm not laying points. I think to play this one, if you want to side, I think it's the Denver side. I just started, Tony. Just started, buddy. I don't think you can get on the Saints side here unless you're just saying they're at home and you're going with it, they're at home. This is only Rattler's second game starting. He's going against one of the better defensive units so far this year in the NFL. This is a homecoming for Sean Payton, too. And I feel like Sean Payton's going to want to win this game because he's coming back to New Orleans. There's going to be some fanfare there. But overall, I just think the Saints have too many issues right now. The two top receivers out, and then they're facing a defense that's going to be able to key in on the run. I think Denver wins this game. I think they win an ugly game. I mean, it could be something like 11-10. We could get a weird one like that, 9-6 in this one. Like, this has the potential for that, all written all over it. Like, this is that type of game potential written all over it. So it's probably going to be 40-30 or something. But I like the under here. Most likely, guys, I'm going to put this under in a 10-point teaser and get it up to 47. And that's probably how I'm going to play it. I don't know that I'm going to play it just straight here. I do like it, though. And if you had to, like, make me pick a bet in this, I would probably take that under. Now, as far as the Denver money line, I am playing that. I just don't think the Saints can overcome the Broncos defense. So I'm playing that. Now, I'm also playing both guys to throw an interception. I expect both rookies here to throw a pick. It's a primetime game. Again, I bet all the primetime interceptions, but even if this wasn't a primetime game, I would expect both rookies to throw an interception in this one. I, I don't think that that's too hard of an ask. And I also like Cortland Sutton to have over 5.5 receptions. I bet it at 5.5 receptions. He's kind of the go-to guy for Bo Nix, and they're getting a better report and a better report as they go on. And I don't know that there's just going to be a lot of opportunities other than him. So that's where I'm going. My place for this one is the Denver money line, and I'm going to tease the under up to 47. Both interception props. Yeah, but the first, if you want to bet them passing unders, they're there too. What's up, Waylon? Craftsmaster Journey, how are you guys? Yeah, any kind of under in this game outside of Cortland Sutton and Kamara's, I wouldn't bet Kamara's unders either because he's going to get a lot of touches. But all the other unders seem very, very realistic. Also, if you wanted to take a chance betting the defensive touchdowns, so I wouldn't just bet one. If I was going to bet the defensive touchdown in this game, I would bet both. They're going to be plus 400 to plus 700, somewhere in that range. But don't just bet one of them, because then if that team doesn't get it, but the other team does, you're going to feel stupid. But you can bet them both, whether you split a unit between them or you bet a unit on each of them. I actually looked at that. The only thing that worried me on that is that maybe that these quarterbacks only throw about 13 times, 14 times each, something like that. That worried me a little bit. So, but I think in 14 throws, both of these guys throw a pick. So that's where I'm at on this one, in the Thursday game. And I think that in the instance here, this is just a bad football game. If the Saints had all their weapons, the Saints would be probably a touchdown favorite. But they don't. They don't have all their pieces. At least the last thing I saw said they were out. So they would probably be a touchdown favorite in this game. But because they don't, this spread and this line is coming from the Denver defensive side, because the Denver's defensive statistics are actually really good. They've actually played really good defense this year. And, let's not forget, they held Tampa Bay down to 3 points. Now, that might have been a fluke, but Tampa Bay just put 51 on New Orleans. So there is they've played a similar opponent, and Denver was able to handle them. So, again, that's what makes me lean the Denver side, and that's why I'm betting the Denver side. And again, I like the under, but I like the under better if you tease it up. All right. So I don't have a lot else to say about this game. Like I said, Denver, money line, the under, the interception props, and I like Cortland Sutton over 5.5 receptions. I just think he gets the ball on all the pass plays, or most of them. So let's move on. So there's a London game again, and I should have been doing this, kind of separating this game out because it is standalone. These games get played at like 8:30 in the morning my time, so East Coast is like 7:30 in the morning, These are real early games, these overseas games. But it's New England and Jacksonville, another great game, right? Another just amazing game to put on there. I don't think Jacksonville's laying 5.5 points in this one. I don't think Jacksonville should ever lay points. You can't trust their offense, you can't trust their defense. So I'm not sure how they're laying points here. I know that New England's coming in with a rookie quarterback, and Jacksonville stayed over there, and New England's having to fly over there, and all that factors in. But are you guys getting behind Jacksonville laying points? Because I'm not. I'm not getting behind them laying points, and especially not close to a touchdown. If they were laying 2.5 here, I can see that. But 5.5, this is just a thing to, I think, keep people away from teasers on this game. But I actually think New England could win this game. Believe it or not, I actually think New England will win this game. I actually saw from Drake May some things in their last game. He was effective. It wasn't like he was terrible. He was okay. Against Jacksonville, he's going to look even better. It'll be his second start. I do think that this game stays close the whole way. I think it's low scoring. So I like New England plus the 5.5 points. I think New England's a good play. And And I think you can even put a little money on their money line to just get them plus odds. I think this game comes down to the fourth quarter and maybe the last possession. And I don't know that this game ever spreads out 5.5 points. I don't know that either team ever takes a 5.5 point lead. So, and the over and under is 42. If I was going to pick one way or the other on this, I would definitely take the under, just because New England's not going to score a lot and Jacksonville hasn't shown the ability to score a lot. So the under is also a good play to me in this one. But I'm going to talk about that a little more later in a different part of what I'm doing here. But this London game, I think New England's the play. I think Drake May is going to be able to be just fine against a less than average pass rush and a less than average defense. He's going to be able to spread the ball around. And I think the Patriots will be able to run the football. So am I on the FBI watch list? I don't know why I would be. Are you, Eric? Are you on the FBI watch list? I don't even know what the FBI watch list is. So, not really sure where that came from. That was a interesting one. That was good. That was really good. Threw me off. Anyway, you make me laugh. You make me giggle. But so that's right, Matt. So yeah, the Bills made a great pickup. I think that the Bills picking up Amari Cooper is more important than the Jets picking up Davante Adams, because the Bills were already just kind of that piece away on offense. They needed a really stud receiver, and Amari Cooper fits what you want for Josh Allen. Josh Allen doesn't want a diva receiver. He wants a guy that's going to go make the plays and do the work. So Amari Cooper's a great spot for him. Amari Cooper went to bed in last place and woke up in first place, so in a division. So good for him. Good for Amari Cooper. Good for Josh Allen and the Bills. I'm excited. I hope the Bills stay competitive. It's always fun when the Bills are competitive. So they have a great fan base. Plus, it's always fun when the good quarterbacks are in the playoffs. So we like that. We like the good quarterbacks. So good quarterbacks in the playoffs are better than seeing guys like Skylar Thompson in there. And, when you have those situations when, a couple of years ago, Brock Purdy gets hurt and they don't have anyone to put in. It's Josh Johnson. It's like, you got to have the good quarterbacks in the playoffs. It sucks when they're not. So anyways, let's move on. So in the New England game, the New England Jags, I like the New England plus 5.5. I think it's a solid play. And if you like the total, I like the under on the total, 42.5. I don't think it gets there, but I like the New England plus 5.5 better. And at 10, so guys, if you like the points, you generally like the under, because generally that's kind of how that's going to go. If you like the underdog in the points, it will match liking the under. So let's move on. The Sunday day games, we'll call them. I didn't like a ton in this week. I wasn't just like sides and totals. Bro, why you look white? Well, I am white. What? That's because I am white. I don't understand what you're asking. But anyways, okay, Doctor Strange, your name is fitting. So let's go to the Tennessee Buffalo game. Okay. I don't have an issue with you being black either. I'm just, was I not supposed to be white? Okay. That's not fair. Oh my gosh, really? Oh, I didn't know that mattered, but okay. If it matters to you, it matters to you, man. Hey, let it matter. Let it matter where it matters. It don't matter to me. Anyways, Tennessee and Buffalo game, right? We have this total's too low, 41. I'm gonna say something about Buffalo. Buffalo's not good on defense. They're not. They're not a good defensive team. They're not going to be a good defensive team tomorrow or Sunday. It's not going to get better on defense. But Buffalo did get better on offense, and they're a good offensive team. So against Tennessee, a team that I don't think is very good either on offense or defense, but they are going to be able to run the ball on Buffalo. They will, and Tennessee will run the ball. And 41 is too low. I fully expect Buffalo to get 27 to 30 points here. So it only leaves Tennessee having to get 13. I think that's a very reasonable thing. 41 to me in that game, it's just way too low. Buffalo's going to do the lion's share of that. They're going to, and also because Buffalo wants to stay ahead of the Jets in the division, so they're going to win all these games that they should win. And if you look at anything this year, the games that Josh Allen should play well in, he does. Arizona, all these other games. The games that he should struggle in on the road in Baltimore, he has. So in this game, he should do well in it. It's in Buffalo. They're going to smack them. I don't really want to lay any points because I don't trust the Buffalo defense yet, but over 41, 41's too low here. That should be 47, 48. The 41's way too low. So we're going Tennessee, Buffalo over 41. Next one, Atlanta playing Seattle. So this is a situational game. Atlanta is laying 3 at home versus Seattle. I don't necessarily think one team is better than the other here, but Seattle has to fly all the way across the country from West Coast time zones to East Coast time zones. I don't know if they were on the East Coast already, but either way, even if they stayed on the East Coast, it's still an extended road trip then. This is just usually bad news for the West Coast teams going east. The only anomaly to this ever really was Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson was able to win west to east. And I think that's because he spent his college career on the East Coast. Maybe he always had that clock. I'm not sure there. But this one, so I'm cool. I'm taking Atlanta laying the 3. They're at home. This doesn't seem like a big step to me. They're not worse for sure than the Seahawks. So it's not like we're taking so obviously there was more to it than I knew. Awesome IPA, Noah. So I just don't think this is a good spot for Seattle. So I'm going to take Atlanta. I'm going to lay the 3. Again, there's not like a bunch of statistical metrics that say this is this or this. This is just a situation. In the NFL, situations do matter. There's situational stuff that matters. In fact, a couple of these spots, I'm going to be talking about situational stuff as far as why I'm picking the game as opposed to statistical stuff like we did more with the Buffalo game. It was more statistical. All right. And then I'm taking Houston +3 up in Green Bay. If this game was in December, January, something like that, I'd be all over Green Bay. But this is it's going to be 50 up there. It's going to be nice. Even if it's 40, it's still going to be nice. Plus, Houston's getting 3 points. Houston's one of the better teams in the NFL. I think they're getting points. Good team in the NFL. I feel like that the better quarterback plays for Houston. I feel like the better skill position players play for Houston. And I think the defense is somewhat of a wash. And the coaching, I don't think I am a LaFleur. I like LaFleur, but I don't think Ryans is any worse than him. So I just think Houston getting points. They're a 1-loss team. They're a pretty good football team, guys. And Green Bay, I'm not saying they're a bad football team. If you're giving me Houston with some points, I'm going to take them. And in this situation, I think they're the better football team getting points. I know it's on the road, and that does matter, but it's still a really good football team getting points. So that's where I'm at on that one. The next one. I imagine you guys know where I'm going with this one. Kansas City getting 1 point, playing against San Francisco. So I want to give you guys some background on this. This is a very situationally polarizing game. First thing, Patrick Mahomes has never lost to San Francisco. He's played them 4 times. He's 4-0. 2 of them were in the Super Bowl. He's 3-1 to the over. These games are 3-1 to the over. And Andy Reid has like the best record off a bye in the history of the NFL. So off of a bye week, Andy Reid is like 26-3 or something like that. So some insane number like that. He's like, that's how he wins. So I know people will point to, well, San Francisco, they're getting healthier, they're this and that. Well, the Chiefs still haven't lost. I know people could say, well, they should have lost this or they should have lost that. Okay. Well, I think you can say that about a lot of teams, right? But what did happen is this. And we also know the Chiefs are bringing a defense that is going to be able to match up with anything that San Francisco throws at them, right? There's no Christian McCaffrey, so they're not having to worry about that. So they're worrying about George Kittle, Ayuk, and Deebo Samuel. That defense will have no issue with that. They'll have no issue dealing with those guys. And I think in these spots, I think we're going to see San Francisco press a little bit because of the recent history here, where I don't think we'll see that from the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs will go about it like normal business, and they've been prepping for 2 weeks for this game, and they're going to go in. I actually don't think this game will be all that close. I don't think San Francisco will be able to do much with the football in this game, and I think the Chiefs will do Chiefs things, and they'll methodically, as the game goes on, eventually score 24 points, and this game is probably 24-13 in that range. And you're giving the Chiefs are the underdog. How are a 5-0 Chiefs, back-to-back Super Bowl champions that just beat this team, how are they underdogs? Come on, guys. Underdogs? It doesn't make any sense. So Kyle Shanahan, he just can't beat Andy Reid. He can't beat Mahomes. They just fail every time. And I think all the games but one, they've had a 10-point lead and lost all of the games. So again, this is more of a situational handicap, because I think if you looked at them statistically, the Chiefs probably aren't as good statistically as them. Would be on defense. The defensive stats would be better probably, but and let's talk about San Francisco's D. It's not what it has been, right? It's not as good as it has been. Part of that is that they lost some players, and they're just not as good. I don't think the Chiefs have an issue here. I think this is a really weird line. Giving the Chiefs 1 point, it's almost begging everyone to take a teaser with the Chiefs, which I totally agree you should. You should take the Chiefs up to +7. It's probably the best bet of the day. As far as teasers go, from 1 to 7 there with the Chiefs. And so that's where I'm at on this one. These are the only 4 plays I got, guys, in the day games. The rest of the games, the handicaps were good, I thought, from the Vegas side, and I just didn't like a lot of the sides. I thought it was a lot of equally matched games that could go either way. Or like in the Washington, I just think Washington laying 8 doesn't, even though I think they'll cover it, it still seems like a lot. It seems like a really big backdoor. But in all these cases, that's why so few picks here. And something I've been doing every week, I've been talking about either some kind of gambling strategy. Like last week was the interception props, right? Like I put out all those interception props and explained why. It was all the rookies playing defenses and stuff. And they all came in. All 5 of them won. All 5 of them interception props I gave out last week won. So this week I'm going to talk about 10-point teasers. So 10-point teasers are 3-leg teasers, but you get to move it 10 points. Well, one of the things I like to do here is I like 10-point teasers on the totals, because, guys, Vegas does really well on the totals. Vegas generally gets the total pretty close. So a lot of times you can tease it either way and it's going to win. But when it's a 10-point teaser, I know a lot of other handicappers will tell you don't tease totals. But it doesn't actually make sense to not tease totals if you look at it from the aspect that Vegas is really good at picking these numbers. So when you're moving the number one way or another, you're probably going to win it. And so let's start with some of these 10-point teaser totals that I like this week. So these are there's going to be 6 games that I put on here where I think the total is going to win. Now, this isn't win either way. This is just the way I say it's going to win. All right. I think the Broncos Saints under 47. You're going to go from 37 to 47. I think New England and Jacksonville under 52. It's going to go from 42 to 52. I think Philly and the Giants over 32.5. It's 42 right now. I think you're going to take it to 32, and it's going to go over that. Tennessee and Buffalo over 31. Houston and Green Bay over 37.5. And then the Jets and Pittsburgh under 48. I don't know how they ever get to 48 points in that game. And so those are the 6 that I like this week. And I think if you take it the way I said, I think you can mix and match them anyway. I think they'll win. Now you have to bet 3 when you do a 10-point teaser. You have to bet 3 legs now, but you get it just 10 points. It's a huge advantage. So like I said, every week I talk about a betting style or strategy. I've done it every week. I can't remember everything I've talked about, but I think week 1 was the primetime interceptions and so on and so forth. Last week was like rookie interceptions. So that's where I'm at on that one, on those 6 10-point teasers. Like I said, you can mix and match them how you want. And another thing I do every week is I give out the 6-point teaser plays that I think are good sides on it, or some totals. But and last week I think I missed 2 out of 7 or 8 maybe. Again, I if you're doing 6-point teasers, I think you should only do 2 legs, 2-leg 6-point teasers. I don't think you should add any more legs than that. To me, it doesn't make sense. But so let's go through the teaser plays that I think are worth your time. New England plus 5.5 up to 11.5. Detroit plus 1 up to 7. That's another really weird one to me. Tennessee and Buffalo over 41 to over 35. Houston plus 3 to plus 9. Cincy minus 6.5 down to minus 0.5. Washington minus 8 down to minus 2. Kansas City plus 1 up to plus 7. And Pittsburgh plus 1.5 up to 7.5. Like I said, I like all those teaser sides there. One thing I want to talk about, because I'm going to have to go into work here in just a second, guys, is if you want to be involved in my Discord, send me an email to wagermethis@gmail.com. I'll get you in on my Discord. I post all these plays and stuff on my Discord, guys. It makes it easier for you guys. I know I should probably post these in the comments, but I'm a really lazy YouTuber. I don't have an intro. I don't have an outro. I don't have none of that. I do it just for information purposes, and I like to interact with y'all. So, again, hopefully you guys liking these videos. If you're following them, I'm actually doing pretty well. The start of the season was shaky, but it's started to come as we get more data and stuff in here. It's starting to really come around, like it does every year. You know, the more data you have, obviously, the better predictions you can make. At the beginning of the year, you essentially have 0 data. You're going off of speculation and stuff that happened in the past, and that doesn't always work. But as you get more data, as the season goes on, it gets easier and easier to get on a side or get on, one angle or another. But anyways, guys, if you have any questions, I have about 10 minutes left. So before I have to go in, you guys let me know. Ask me some questions. I'll try to answer them. You guys are going to have to pull up any of the lines or anything because I'm on my phone in my car. So keep that in mind. If you're going to ask me about a specific game or a prop, you're going to have to give me the parameters of it. So please ask away or say, get out of here. We're tired of hearing your yap. You can say that too. I'd be cool with that. You think Adams starts? Okay, so yeah, I think Adams starts because Adams knows this system. There might be some slight differences in verbiages, but Adams is definitely going to know at least 5 or 8 of the plays. And, he's been around the league a long time. He understands blocking schemes. He understands, they run the same system they ran when they were in Green Bay together. So, yeah, I think he starts. I also think that Amari Cooper starts. So, they may be limited packages and it may be simplified for them at this point, but these guys are veterans. They know how to learn an offense. I don't, will it be perfect? Will they know all the little nuances and the checks of the offense? Probably not yet, but I don't see any reason why you'd keep those studs off the field. It doesn't make any sense to keep those guys off the field to me. So, yeah, I think they play. what's next? What is HSU, by the way? Man, I am ready for college basketball. I watched a little bit of that opening tournament stuff last night, North Carolina and Memphis. If anyone doesn't know about my college basketball handicapping stuff, I like to do first half team totals. I just have found an angle in these first half team totals where they get underrepresented a lot. And you can take really good teams at really good numbers. So I've just found, I've been doing it for years, and I showed the guys last time. Henderson, gotcha. Okay, now it makes more sense. Henderson in Arkadelphia, I love it. That's really cool, man. I've been down there. Close to that is where you mine the diamonds. We took my kids down there to mine some diamonds. We didn't find any, or if we did, we didn't know they were diamonds because they look like rocks. So it's not like the diamonds you see at Zales. That's for sure. Doctor Strange, he threw me off, man. We actually went after it rained. We actually knew that. We had been told that by some people. We went down there, and I'll be honest, I'm sure we saw some, and we probably held them in our hands, but we didn't. We weren't able to decipher them. My kids brought some rocks home from there that they say are diamonds, but I doubt they are. They may be, but I don't think they are. They look like rocks to me. So yeah, it was kind of funny. But it was a cool day. I built all these like sifter things that didn't work. Like I tried to build all these sifter things at home, and yeah, they didn't really work. College football is getting heated too, man. There's a lot of teams that have a real shot at making this the playoff spots this year, the 10, 11, 12 spots. There's going to be like 50 teams that meet that, I think, where you could put them in. It's going to be weird because the college football, outside of like one or two teams at the top, the rest, it's there's a lot of parity in it. So it's going to be a really weird. I know some of it just comes down to winning their conference. Some of it just comes down to some other things, but and some stuff will sort itself out as it go. But I fully expect to see some 3-loss teams on that 10, 11, 12 line, because you're going to have 3-loss teams. Like you could have a 3-loss LSU team in there. You could have a 3-loss Michigan team. Like there's some teams that with 3 losses, you're like, yeah, their losses are to these guys though. You're like in a situation where the losses are really good losses, if there is a good loss. What do you think about the FSU Duke game? FSU +3 right now. Yeah. It's hard to bet against Duke. So there you go. Is that college basketball or is that football? Because I think that line would be about the same, right? Yeah. Okay, I thought you were talking about football. Because I was thinking FSU, like that line should be 13 or something. Okay. Um, I don't trust the FSU football team to do anything. I bet on them at the first game of the year, and they let me down, and I stayed away from them ever since. I just don't. Yeah, I don't know that, Anthony. I don't know about that. But HSU grad, I just FSU is so hard to bet on, right? They're gonna have the talent advantage on Duke, but how do you bet on them? I just don't get it. I don't know how you even get on a side with them with as little as they've shown, and they show like they don't have any fight to them. When they start getting punched in the mouth, they just kind of roll over, and it's not all that appealing, especially as a gambler, to get behind that team. You know, I like teams like it's easy to get behind Vanderbilt, right? Because their quarterback, he has fight to him. You know, he's going to try for all 60 minutes. And so it's a lot easier to get behind that. Like we bet Vanderbilt plus 12.5 last week against Kentucky, and they won the game by 10 or something like that. It was, and that Pavia kid, he's just got a lot of fight to him. So it's easy to bet on them teams, hard to bet on the teams that roll over. It's one of the reasons why it's easy to bet on Colorado, because Colorado doesn't quit. You know, and whether you like how they are from a persona standpoint, they're not quitters. They almost beat Kansas State, which it may not sound like a big deal, but it is for a team that has been 2 years removed from winning one game and almost beat a ranked team. Um, and are 4-2 or 5-2 or whatever they are, and that would have put them leading the division. Well, they would have been right behind BYU, right, for the Big 12. So again, like I like to bet on, especially in college, I like to bet on teams that have fight to them, that aren't going to just quit. You know, I don't like betting on the ones that are going to roll over. So that's where I kind of, one of my angles in college is, if they don't have no fight to them, I don't really like to put money on them. And I feel like that's where FSU stands, is this no fight. But anyways, guys, you guys want to talk about the baseball game tonight? I'll give out free play on the baseball game if y'all want. Both of these pitchers should get hammered tonight. I actually bet both team totals over 3.5. And Alonso has hit 4 home runs off of Buehler. So I wouldn't be surprised if he has a couple big hits tonight, an RBI. I wouldn't necessarily bet the home run because it's, in New York, but I definitely like him to hit an RBI. But yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of runs. I don't think either of these pitchers do much stopping of the other offenses. So there you go. Baseball was good to me last night. Garrett Cole pooped the bed in the 4th inning. I had him to win. My only loss of the night last night was Garrett Cole to win the game. I got the other wins in, but 4th inning, it's like, what are you doing? You have to make it one more inning. Come on, man. Garrett Cole, $300 million for 4 innings. What are you doing? You're lucky your team won. They would have put a hit out on him last night. All them mob guys would have lost money on that game. Oh, my. That would have been a bad deal for Garrett. But anyways, guys, that's what my buddy in the chat here, he knows. He's from the Bronx. He knows how that stuff goes. Garrett, you better not mess that up. You better not mess with the church's money. They'll be making you an offer you can't refuse for that $300 million. Yeah, Judge came through. That was a hammer too. That was deep center, way out there. And it was kind of off the plate. He's so long, man. He got way out there to that ball. It was kind of high. That pitcher, when he threw that pitch, nowhere in his mind did he think that was going to get hit over. Because that was way kind of up and off the plate. And that pitcher never for 1 second thought that was going to be a home run pitch. And Jed's just powerful, man. He just popped that sucker out there. I know people have been ragging on his hitting throughout the playoffs here, but he's just barely missed about 10 home runs. I mean, just barely missed these balls, and he finally barreled one. And you see, if he barrels it, it's got a chance, right? Even if it's not a super hard swing, it's just he's so powerful. So he finally barreled one even off the plate, and it just kept going. It just kept flying until it finally got over that fence. So it's just the nature of his leverage, because he's like 6'7" or whatever he is. So, but no, that was a smash, and good for him. Guys, there ain't a lot of heroes in baseball. He's one of them. Yeah. From Ramirez hit that 9th inning home run. Yeah. I like Ramirez too, but there's just not a lot of heroes in baseball. And Judge is one of them. So I love it when he does good. I want to see baseball's lost their heroes. And I know some of you older guys will know what I'm talking about here. At one time baseball had all the heroes, right? All the heroes were in baseball. All the larger than life sports figures were in baseball, right? Oh yeah, the Jets schedule is super favorable. Yeah, the Jets schedule, they should win like 6 more games easily on that schedule. So I think there's 6 for sure. So if they split the rest of them, they've probably got like 9 wins left. The Jets and the Bills is going to be a fun run down to the end. It's going to be a really interesting division between those two. But back to my baseball thing, guys that used to be all over baseball, right? Even during the steroid era, their baseball had heroes, right? Sosa, McGuire, Griffey, um, even to some lesser extents, some of the pitchers like Roger Clemens and stuff, like Greg Maddux, those kind of guys. Like there was heroes in the game, and then it kind of went away, right? You only had like a few of the guys, and then they were kind of like Jeter never really was a big media star, so he kind of wasn't a big hero. Jeter's great. Alex Rodriguez had all the other issues, right? He was always in the media, but for the girls and all, and it wasn't baseball lost their heroes. And well, then football and basketball took over with the heroes, right? Like all the heroes are in football and basketball now. So baseball needs the few heroes they have, like Judge and Ohtani, and Mike Trout was supposed to be, but Mike Trout can't figure that out. Bryce Harper has too weird of an attitude for it, but he should be. Acuna is kind of like a hero. Those guys, baseball needs those guys. So when they do good, it's good for baseball. Ramirez does good, it's good for baseball. And I like baseball, so we want it to be good. Bobby Witt Jr. is kind of becoming that guy. I like Bobby Witt Jr. He's a really good player. But anyways, guys, I got to go into work. You guys have a great day. Let's win some money tonight. Like I said, I think the baseball game has a lot of runs in it. So if you guys want to get on that, you want to fade me, you might be right too. Anyways, guys, have a great night. This is Jacob from Why'd You Mean This?